I literally left my whole life. I had everything going for me. I could be still doing the same thing like my whole life. I was already later in my career and everyone's just like, wait, what about your jewelry? What about like all this stuff you built? And it was just like, I'm not happy. So what about it? I was in Tokyo. My mind was blown. And I was like, the world is so big and Hawaii is so small. My name's Nai. I'm from Hawaii and I've lived in Bali now for 1 year.
Has there been anything where life-changing, anything like that?
Oh yeah, totally. That was intense. I was in the forest for almost 30 days. I committed myself to that. Like, it kind of felt like I was committing myself to an insane asylum. I just really wanted to kind of get that spiritual experience that everybody kind of comes to Bali for. And
Alright, welcome back to Creative Freedom. Today we have the beautiful Nai.
Hello.
Good. Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Nai. I'm from Hawaii and I've lived in Bali now for 1 year this month.
1 year this month. Yeah. So, what brought you to Bali?
The surf, actually. Yeah.
Surf.
First time I was here was in 2019 and I was seeing someone that was half Balinese and half American. And we came on a stay here and I was like, I want to live here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that was right before COVID.
Oh.
So then COVID happened and everything got locked down. So
Were you actually here through COVID? Or?
no, I went back to Hawaii. I was here for 2 months and then went back home and I was ready to move here, getting things ready to move here, and then COVID happened. This was like all within 2 months. Yeah.
Okay, so what was your life like beforehand then?
So yeah, I had a crazy story in COVID. Lost my job, started working for my family business, or I had been already working for my family's business. Jewelry, fine jewelry. So my mom and my uncle both have their own jewelry company, and so I just spent a lot of time surfing, making jewelry. I decided to make my own jewelry company, and then that took off and it became successful. I opened up a jewelry shop, and I just found myself working more than like 80 hours a week, having my own business, had a shop, I was managing it, doing markets. I was so busy that I had forgotten about my dream about moving to Bali. And when COVID kind of I came to a point where I was like, COVID just disappeared. I was like having this after conversation with my friends about how that was such a weird 4 years. And now it's just like everything's back to normal.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, like, who was I before COVID and who am I now? And yeah, it was just I had like this crazy epiphany.
So just stepping back, I guess, like stepping like a little bit back in, you at that point where, you wanted to travel, like when was that point? Because you've already come to Bali, maybe with that ex-boyfriend, you came to see him. Mm-hmm. At what point, when did you first leave Hawaii? And was that sort of the initial point, or was it, when you were working for your family businesses, was there anything that, I guess you came for the surf, so it was more, like, when did the opportunities, or when did you really think that point, at that point, what point did you go, look, I wanted to leave sort of Hawaii?
Yeah, so I was super fortunate at 17. I was able to go to Japan with my school and I did a missionary trip. And so when I went to Japan, I was like, wow, this is a crazy world. Like I was in Tokyo. My mind was blown. And I was like, the world is so big and Hawaii is so small. And I love Hawaii. I was like, I'm fascinated with architecture, with design, with fashion. And so at that point, I knew when I went to Japan, I was like, there's so much to see. Like, I was inspired.
I think that before the world was like very big to people before. Like definitely going back, go back 40, 50 years, no one ever used to really travel. So everyone stayed in their own little towns and cities or whatever. And now, able to travel, flying on planes are so much more cheaper now. So people getting to go, to the other side of the world. So yeah, it's like, even with me, it's like, people that, where are you from? That kind of thing. Always like, where's home? I'm like, the world is my home. I don't want to be like this persistent in one little place. And it's like, I want to try to travel. And that's the kind of thing what I've been going for myself. So.
Yeah, and when you went to Japan, was that just for like was that
like a mission?
A mission,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did a mission trip with
What's
my private, I went to private Christian school. So we went and worked with a church, a Christian Baptist church in the heart of Tokyo. And we just did a bunch of service work for them with like handing out food to the homeless and talking to the kids, working with the kids.
And how long was that for?
That was for almost 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
So after you went home, and then that kind of like give you a nudge or something.
Yeah, I was like, I also had been to the Philippines at a young age because I'm Filipino as well, and so I had already been to the Philippines, and I was like, I had a sense of traveling. I had that like itch.
Yeah.
I just had an itch. I was like, okay.
The travel bug.
Yeah, the travel bug. And then I was like, the world is like so big. Anything could, like, traveling really opened my mind to the possibilities of what could be. Coming from a small town and a small, like, Kauai's only 7 islands, so it's a very tight community there. Everybody pretty much knows everybody by their family last name.
You said before, it's like, from the COVID, like, who are you kind of thing. And I think I might have said on another podcast, it's like, we're a product of our own environment. And people think that they know themselves, and there's that saying, know themselves. It's like, to me, it's like when you start to travel outside the world, you start to see how things are so much different than what you've been taught to believe, kind of thing. So it's like, how much do you think coming out Bali has changed you?
A lot, probably. Yeah, very much. Like, I feel
what has changed?
The environment for sure has a big role in who you become, who you surround yourself with. No doubt, it's proven even.
100%.
Yeah, who you surround yourself with, how you spend your time, where you spend your time, how you spend your money, how you make your money. That's all relevant to the time that we have. And I changed so much coming out to Bali because I really took a risk that I was just going to come out here and not have a plan. So I created this space of freedom for myself to explore with no conditions. Like, I really came out here with like on a week-to-week basis.
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. That was for the first 2 months that I was here before I had met you, actually. I met you at Wrong Gym.
Yeah.
And I was I was doing monthly gym memberships. And I wasn't sure if I was going to pull the trigger. And then Lucia, she sold me a 6-month membership package. And when I bought that from her, I was like, okay, that's going to be the pulling the trigger. I'm going to come back, get all my stuff. I had to take all of my storage of all of my jewelry, props, and like desks. I had to sell everything from my shop. And then I put it in storage. I sold my truck, like a brand new truck. I sold my truck.
Brand new truck.
Brand new Toyota Tacoma.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was just like, I sold pretty much everything and put it, like, the stuff that I wanted to keep, like, for my house one day or whatever, at my mom's house.
And this was I guess this was after, like, either during COVID or after COVID, just to put it on a timeline?
Yeah, this was after COVID. So I had the dream of coming and living in Bali before COVID had happened.
Yeah.
That was my dream. COVID happened, my life totally did a 180. It just took a completely different turn. And I'm like such a go with the flow person. My dad always says, ride the wave till it crashes. And so honestly, I remember clear as day, he told me when COVID happened, you better settle down because this could last forever. I was like, oh my God, like, really? Okay, like, I guess I'm gonna like be in Hawaii for a while. And I was prepared for that, thankfully. And it was such a great experience. But then after COVID, like I said, I just had this realization when everyone was traveling. I was like, this is not like the life that I want to live. Like
What life was that you didn't want to live?
The work 80 hours plus, having like this
80 hours.
Yeah, it was like you really do trade your 40-hour week when you have a business for like unlimited hours, because it's your baby.
There's a lot of people with a business that were my mentors. Like, a lot of people they make a business and they're like, I got a business, but then they end up actually working more hours. When they're 9 to 5s.
The logistics of it is like it sounds great, like, and it is. If you have the right amenities and you have the right team, I think teamwork has such a big play. If I didn't have my team back in Hawaii, I wouldn't be able to, like, my family, for example, if I didn't have the support of my family during COVID and the help of my family and my friends, because the community in Hawaii is so tight. Like, for example, having a small business, everybody supports other people's small businesses, just like Bali as well. It's very, very similar, which is another reason why I'm like super attracted to Bali. The community is tight-knit. Small businesses support other small businesses. There's a lot of collaborations. So it's great for like content and building businesses and building brands. But again, if you're not ready to live that lifestyle of 80 plus hours and grind for the first 4 years at least, like, that's what your life is going to look like. And I had gotten there, and I was like there and had everything I wanted. I got everything I wanted in the business, and I was just like, I really actually struggled. After COVID, people didn't want to work. No one wanted to be working.
Stuff was impossible to find, and talent as well.
That was a huge factor. Like, I had hired a few of my friends actually as employees.
Oh, that's the worst mistake. Go on.
No, but I mean, they were great.
It's different over there.
No, it's different, but I'm so chill. Like, I really am, like, really flexible. So, like, I had a couple of times where, like, somebody didn't lock the door, like, some stupid things, like, really obvious things, but it was just like, okay, whatever, like, no harm, no foul, like, but,
Before you started, like, so you made the decision that you were going to go, was there anyone around where, you know, like, are you sure you want to do this? Was there any doubt in your mind?
100%.
Everybody was like,
what did your mom and dad think?
Oh, no, they were like, why?
There's a surf in Hawaii. Why are you going to Bali?
Everybody was like, even here in Bali, everyone's like, you're from Hawaii? Like, why would you come here?
Yeah.
But, like, there is a thing about it. Like, if you live, anywhere in the world, if you're coming from a small town, like, and you've lived in the small town your whole life, at a certain point, you kind of question, like, am I going to be here and never leave, or am I going to leave and then come back? And I was at that point where, I was already later in my career, and everyone's just like, wait, what about your jewelry? What about, like, all this stuff you built? And it was just like, I'm not happy. So what about it?
And who were those people?
All of my friends.
All of your friends.
Yeah, everybody was just like, wow, why? And there was a lot of different other small factors.
Would you say something that's more out of love than?
Yeah, it was no judgment. I mean, my grandma calls me quite
every
often
day.
And is like,
when are you coming home?
Yeah, when are you coming back? Like, why are you there? Like, every time.
Was there anyone who actually was like, think it's a great idea and behind the whole idea?
For sure. Like, all my friends are very supportive, but at the same time, they're just like, okay, like, we're gonna miss you. Like, why? Like, everyone was very supportive. I mean, and I think I've actually had already 2 friends from Hawaii come visit me. So I like to see myself as a bridge. Like, come out here and come see it. Like,
kind of show them the influence.
Yeah, I guess, like, you've got your own business. You're working like 80 hours a week. Is it the same now, or because do you have a team?
No. Yeah, so that was I had to sacrifice a lot, like to come live out here. I literally left my whole life to I had everything going for me. I could have done the same thing. I could be still doing the same thing for the next 10 years, like my whole life
Yeah.
actually. And I just I let it all go because I realized like this isn't the life it's not right now. Like I'm not happy like in this time of my life. This will still be here. And that's the thing about like small towns and like the place that you come from. It's you usually tend to go back to it, and it's like how I've had
Nothing
this
changes.
conversation.
Yeah.
I was like, I know that it's not going to change. So what am I really losing? I mean, what am I really letting? I mean, the comfort. It was the comfort of it. Like, and I had a very good schedule. I had a very every day something doing, and it was just I wasn't feeling fulfilled.
So before that, maybe the week or 2 weeks before you traveled, was there any nerves, any doubts? Was you questioning yourself?
Honestly, I was nervous. I'm kind of the type of person that like in the moment, I just live it here because nothing is promised. The future, I mean, the plane could have crashed. Like I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to think about it until I'm there. But I was so excited because I had been wanting to come out here since 2019. I just got lost in this whole career path that was taking me to a completely different direction, which I learned so much and gained so much, but it was just like, okay, I did that. So let me go explore this route.
Yeah, and you just thinking, I guess Bali. Bali was such a Bali was your dream. Now, why Bali? Like, what was it specifically about Bali back then, or maybe when you were younger? It's like this is the place I need to be. Out of all the choices in the world that you have.
Yeah, so it's funny that you asked that because for me, what's my biggest drive is connection. And I really felt like the people that I was coming across when I had first visited in 2019. So the story about 2019 is I came here with somebody, we broke up, and then yeah. No. So yeah, he was.
How long was you not coming here for? That was it. Like, just a small trip, holiday trip, or was it?
Yeah, and I extended it because we were like dating, but not really dating. It was like we're in the early stages. So we came out here and just it wasn't working out. So we went separate ways, and I was staying in Sanur, and then I went. And it's such a crazy story, actually.
That's what we love. That's what we're here for.
I'm like fully exposing myself. I had a Tinder for meeting girlfriends.
Okay.
And I met a girlfriend, and she got me an apartment in the same complex.
Back that out. You on Tinder with a girlfriend, or you found one? You go
for friends, not like for a girlfriend to date.
Oh, for friends. Okay.
Wait, no. Yeah, let me clarify.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for a girlfriend. Like I met a friend that's a girl, and I had it catered to meeting girls, and in my bio was like here to meet new friends in Bali.
Yeah.
Because Tinder was at the time in 2019 was kind of fresh. It wasn't like the cockroach bottom of like the dating app.
Right.
Like there was no Hinge, there was no Bumble at the time for friends. So it was like, or not that I know of.
So you met with her.
Yeah, she got me an apartment in her complex, and Bouquet, I miss you. We're still besties.
Is she still here?
No, that's the funny part of it too. She left like before I came back. She went to Australia and then back to LA. But it was the people. So I met her and I had a routine. And this was 2019 when Canggu was still like a surfer town, was not like city, wasn't like big infrastructures. The beach was still like the beach.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just had a routine, and I love that routine because it's similar to my routine at home. But it's the community.
Yeah, and generally the surfers have like a huge, surfers have a community within the area. I guess where's maybe the next sort of surfer towns, like the next sort of communities that you see with the surfing, because I guess you're part of Because, you're saying Canggu back in 2019.
Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot. Yeah, it's changed completely. Unfortunately, the biggest issue probably is the surf regulations. Like,
Here?
yeah,
See,
the
we
surf.
don't know enough about surfing.
Yeah,
So
we
you
don't.
have to like enlighten us a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately, like it's like driving. You know, there's rules to the road. There's rules to the surf, and if you're a beginner, which a lot of these people are in Canggu now, because there's surf lessons, and that's makes sense. Like tourism based income for the locals. I
But
totally
do it somewhere
support
else.
that. No, 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 no. It's just about like the rules of the road, and that like I have a friend, for example, who's a local. He actually got hit in the eye by a tourist that like shot their board out. And surfing is super, super dangerous. It really is. Like I've seen someone die in surfing. So it's like, but I don't think people understand that when they're starting out because they don't
Absolutely. Yeah, don't bring it up. Yeah.
Can we just bring up that story? Now you talk about nearly died.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say.
Tell us your story.
Yeah.
We'll save that for another podcast. Yeah. But I get it. Yeah.
So in the dynamic of like the surfing becoming erratic and just out of control, I've noticed a lot of the surfers, it's a bit more aggressive out there.
Yeah,
it's a lot more aggressive. Not a bit, a lot more aggressive. And there's kind of like so from Hawaii, where like surfing originated in Polynesia, it's all about like having like community. It's all about the community. It's all about enjoying, respecting the earth, ocean, and other people, like taking turns, like showing aloha.
Well, I've been hearing some stories, and now I'm hearing yours. Mm-hmm. It's like maybe like a long time, maybe like in Hawaii, but maybe a long time here. Then you come to a road, you let people go, it's very peaceful. And like, what I'm hearing now is like all surfers, like everyone's trying to catch a wave. He's like, this person's cutting in. He's like,
same time.
And then I've been hearing that there was I think someone from the gym got into a big fight, over surfing, and I was like, right. And someone saying to me, yeah, man, there's like a lot of fight, like a lot of aggressive fight. And I was like, maybe we should get a boxing ring, put that on there. So it's like, because I heard that it was like, a group of Balinese people ended up fighting some other tourists and all that stuff. I was like, okay. I thought surfing was like a good thing, but so aggressive.
I guess like one thing I wanted to understand was, you came here, you loved the sort of the day to day of what you were doing, surfing and what. So tell me about that. Like
how it changed.
What was your day to day like that you fell in love with? Here in Bali.
Is this like in 2019 or talking about like now? Here, because that changed as soon as I realized like how much Canggu changed as well.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. Understood.
Right.
Yeah. I guess you've answered the question.
Yeah. I still kind of have the same routine though. Like I'm at the beach every day.
Yeah.
At the gym every day. And then just eating local food, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, so right, so a lot of people watching this, and their routine is wake up, get on the train, get on the bus, go to work, come on, go for lunch, come home. What's your routine like? So you wake up at what time? Are you a sunrise person?
I've changed a bit. Like I've changed a bit. So when I was first here, it was like wake up at 10 o'clock, like no alarm. Like I just woke up when I wanted to wake up, and then I would go to the gym, which I live next to. So I just walk to the gym.
Yeah.
And then after the gym, I'd do recovery, and then I'd walk to the beach because I can walk to the beach like 5 minutes, and then walk back home, and that was my day because I don't drive here, I don't ride.
Yes.
Not even on a bike.
She's from Hawaii, and I thought she
no.
When she told me she don't ride a bike, I was like,
I don't ride a bike not because I don't know how to, because it's extremely dangerous. Because I actually got hit by a car in 2019. Yeah, that ruined my whole stay. So it's like, okay, why risk it?
Yeah, I think like safety first. Like I've seen so many people.
Like a friend that just got hit. Not a friend, but a mutual friend that actually got in a really bad car wreck where like she needed surgery.
Oh yeah, I see that story actually.
It's intense. So it's like, okay, if you can risk the 50-cent ride, like if you're just gonna catch 50-cent rides back and forth, just let the locals ride. As a girl especially. But no, like all power to you. If you want to but it's like a combat war out there. It's like, it does definitely takes away from that experience. So I just walk everywhere. I keep it super simple. I can walk to take my laundry. I like found pretty good routine where it's just everything is so close. And
so what's your routine now then? So your old routine was waking up at 10.
Yeah, now I wake up at 6:30 and I still do the beach thing.
Yeah. What's
in the evening? Because you're that, I know you always
I go both. I go morning and night now. Yeah.
So you you know, with that routine, are you here in Bali, are you happy? Are you fulfilled?
Totally. I feel super happy in the sense that I have an amazing routine. I've made amazing connections. I'm a little sad about the over construction, just because I can relate to that a lot in Hawaii and also experiencing that firsthand. It's like reliving it.
Yeah.
And I hear it, it does affect everybody in the community. Which is why I think community is so important, but I am happy.
Yeah.
Personally.
So you had a game plan to come out here. Since you got here, has it changed any way?
I'm still actually in the process of it. Like I decided, like I was here for a year and I said to myself that if the universe opens the doors where I can find a new career path here, then I'll stay longer if it allows. So I am still working on that process, but I've been meeting a lot of people and doing a lot of collaborations with like UGC and content creating, and there's so many jobs out here. Actually, there's actually
there's so many businesses and so many companies that
there's so many opportunities.
There's so much, and like, half my clients in the US, half of them are in Australia, and just with that UGC stuff, they will give you so much money just to, be their face.
Maybe you can link me with your friends so I can stay in Bali.
Yeah. I mean, there are agents out there, like sort of like I don't understand it fully, but where the market has changed is now we've got that creator economy, and so there are. Back then we had sort of talent, like essentially they've advanced version of talent agents, where there are UGC agencies, right? And then they'll sort of match you with companies, because all these companies are wanting UGC. It's the buzzword last year and this year, and from a business point of view, it is very strategic. It's got so much scale, right? And if you're the right fit for it, they're like tens of thousands of companies lining up for you to like help them promote.
I mean, here in Bali in general, like we're saying about the branding, like coming out to Bali is a perfect opportunity to start a brand or start a business, because you have so many other people who are open to collaborating and working with you for content and like, just ideas. It's a great place for ideas.
Yeah.
I think it's so good. It's like, because people take that step to come over here, you've got to be open-minded. And it's like a tribe, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like when I was back home, I wasn't happy with that life, and that I didn't want that to be my tribe. When I started traveling, I started meeting like-minded people. People want to travel. People want to open up their minds more. This, like that. So I was like, this is. I'm kind of around the people I want to be, and like being in Bali is like so many business people, so many spiritual. The health thing here, everyone's healthy, the food's great, community. I love the Balinese people. So I've traveled all over Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia, I think, are so beautiful people. It's like I think I done a post about this the other day. In England and the Western world, it's like we try to brainwash people that go Thailand's really dangerous. This place really dangerous. This, that. But it's like, man. These places are the most nicest, safest.
They're more safe than the Western cities, man,
I
by far. Yeah.
I actually shared a story. So there was a crackhead, and someone, the people who's we got a Go Jack out here who delivers. What's the ones? So he's delivering food. So he had the new little electric bikes. So he must have gone in, tried to do his delivery. Crack his lock off. Decided to go off, and the guy comes out. I was like, my bike, my bike. And all the bystanders watching this, all like laughing, giggling, like, I'm like, bro, man, how you just sit there and laugh? Like, this is a bad thing. But I was like, this is the Western world. And the Western world always trying to paint the picture that, oh yeah, everyone else is barbarians, everyone else is this. And I'm like, since I've been living out in Southeast Asia, I'm like, man, what? The Western world are really barbaric people. It's like, I can't, if I get on my bike, if I go to a shop, my bike's mostly going to be gone when I come out. And it's like, out here, I can
Leave
my
the key.
in.
How many times
have
we left? Yeah.
Yeah, I can go to sleep, come out, and my bike is still there, you know? It's like, and I can leave the key in. It's like, it's so safe.
Yeah, it is super safe here.
Yeah.
Except
for the traffic.
Except?
Yeah, no, I mean, there has been a story. There was a story that stood out to me because there's not a lot of lighting on the beaches. So, like, I wouldn't recommend. These two girls were walking on the beach in the dark, and they got attacked by a local, apparently, or somebody crazy that looked like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that happens everywhere.
It does happen everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's like certain things that I noticed, like for, I guess, you know, the government wise in the streets, like there's no street lights. I mean, in this area at least, like, and it is in that sense a little more dangerous, like, and uncivilized, but like nicest people, safe, really kind people.
Yeah, so you're happy here. You're happy here. You know, at this point in time, you're fulfilled. You know, you mentioned that, you know, back at home with overdevelopment, back at home, and you can see that change here happening in Bali. You know, do you see yourself, you know, staying here with those? Because the same, it's reoccurring.
Yeah.
You know, what does that look like? You know, what does where's your mind at? I guess like.
Well, I
next.
think everything is evolution.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, everything it's happening everywhere. Development is happening everywhere. I do know, like, I have peace in mind because I know they're working on capping the development, and there's a lot of ethical development that's projects that are happening right now.
Yeah, a lot of sustainable ones as well, and community-based ones as well. I've
like
seen some.
City.
That's the one above here where they've got. I looked at. I saw it, and it looks good. They've got the gym. They've got the wealth, like the health and wellness bit, and it's like I think they're build. And that reminds me, they're building one in Lombok as well. It's all about community and it's all about sustainability. And
yeah,
so
I met this girl and she said that like every major tourist city, she got a degree in business and tourism, and she said that what happens is tourism can go two ways, and it happens everywhere in the city. Like that's why there's like multiple hot spots in the world that like. You know, Bali is super hot right now. Hawaii was super hot. Like, but it changes, like, you know, and that's because the tourism goes either two ways. It blows up and it reaches its peak, and it either goes ethical or it dies. Yeah,
it just it turns into like it's just like a city, for example, where it's all the same and there's no unique thing about it. It's vortexes, I call them. It's got vortex cities.
This is why I wanted to travel as early as possible, because the world's changing so fast. And you know, I remember half of my family's Jamaican, so I remember I went to Jamaica one time. The second time I went, it was changing so fast. And it's like even like Hawaii. I always had this dream about going to Hawaii. And he's like, since I've got to know you, it's like, you know, I've seen some of your stories. It's been looking through Hawaii, and I'm like, wow, you know, it's changing so quick. You know, if I leave it too long, when I go there, it's going to be so much more different. And I think it's the same thing with Bali. Is that I meet people who's been here, that who came here 10 years ago and they come back. And like, how much does it change their life? You know, it's more like it's like with a surfing. They say that you have to walk through a little bit of a jungle and all this to get to the beach. You know, it's so different back then. So
it's happening everywhere, though.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like accepting the fact that that's gonna happen eventually, and even more so power to being present and really enjoying the time that you have here now. And appreciating that, because like what makes Bali so special was my memories that I made in 2019, and that the memories that I make now for what it is versus like what you're saying about worrying it it's gonna change in the future, because it is gonna change.
Yeah.
But it just takes it for what it is.
Yeah, it's like what I was trying to more point out is that I want to try to see as much of the world. I'll go traveling, but I want to see as much of the world as I can before it changes. Like South America, you lot must have heard about me to South America. I want to get to South America before the Amazon is all gone. Is that so? There's a big change, right? Have you ever had a purpose in life?
For sure.
Yeah. What was your purpose? When you was young, what was your purpose when you was young?
I wanted to I wanted to become like a graphic designer for Volcomstone. Yeah.
Volcomstone, you mean the surf company?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I do know surfing, mate.
I was bringing it. I was like, yeah, I know what
I always wanted an artist. Like I was just drawing and doing like just painting.
Do you have like a new purpose now?
For sure. I mean, I'm still an artist. Like I would just describe myself as an artist, but I would say that like my purpose is to be a good person and have good relationships with people and help other people along the way in my relationships and connections with whoever I come across. So, yeah.
So would you call Bali home then for you?
Where's home?
Yeah.
It's really.
I mean, honestly, I think I always say Hawaii is home for me. Yeah, my heart is there. It's like, it really is such a beautiful place and it's special for sure. And right now I just feel like I'm on sabbatical from that. Like I just needed to, like sometimes you need to leave things to
find something,
to appreciate them again. And that's kind of like, I knew that because every time I do come home, every time I go on a trip, like I long to go home. Versus when you're there, it's like, and then you're in that routine and you see the same things and the same people and have the same conversations. And that's just not in Hawaii. That's everywhere in life. That's why like we're such creatures of habit. So switching it up is just like another way of loving something, like wanting to fall back in love with something. I feel like, So no, I wouldn't consider this home.
No. Would you see yourself traveling more somewhere else?
Yeah, totally. Again, like you said.
So what are you thinking next?
There's a few places. I do want to go to South America as well. I want to go to Europe, Australia, for sure. I mean, Europe is huge.
Yeah, look, this is Hawaii with big skyscrapers.
I've been told that I want to go to. I've been told I should go to Byron Bay.
Yeah, I think you'll love it. Yeah, I love it. But at the same time, like I was there last, I think it was just before. Yeah, just similar to what you were talking about in Hawaii, here as well. Yeah, just those surfer towns. If we go back to surfer towns, I think surfers and surfer towns, they all eventually get flooded, right? It's that community. I think the surfing community is very special. I'm not a surfer, but what I've noticed is that it all starts from surfers, right? With people.
That's how Bali grew.
Yeah.
People come from Australia doing the surfing. A lot of people start talking about more people come.
Yeah.
This was a spot because you got Indonesia got thousands of islands.
Yeah.
Like Bali.
Yeah. You'll love it. It's just the vibe that the people there, a lot of them, they're surfers, and you're a mix between a surfer and a creative as well, right? And then you've just got a ton of people there that are on your wavelengths.
What's your number one on your list?
Ooh,
you could go somewhere like random.
Probably I want to go to Italy.
Italy,
yeah. I just heard it's so beautiful, like the water, the architecture. Also the history and the food. I heard.
Yeah, everyone says the food. Yeah, I mean, like back in Melbourne, we have some really good Italian restaurants. But
the quality, I think, like the with the ingredients and like where they're sourcing it, I think like probably could be the same what do you call it, like putting together process, but the quality of theirs is different.
When I went to Italy, everything tastes so much more better. We got this. When I went there with one of my girlfriends, we had this beautiful place on this massive land, and Yeah, we had this little cottage. As soon as we went there, they had that, the bread, the cheese, and the olives and oil and all that stuff. And it's like, it wasn't really my thing before, but it's like, nah, I love that stuff. It tastes so good. When I came back to England, it just wasn't the same. But yeah.
Italy or Spain, because there's surf in Spain too.
Yeah.
Is it something in Italy as well?
If there is, then I'm definitely down.
Isn't it a landlocked country? Nah, it's got the boot. Yeah.
I heard South Italy is like where I should go. I mean.
So you're definitely like a walk.
Yeah, for me, when I travel, if there's not surf, I'm not really like interested to engage. It's like, well, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to the beach, or if I'm not gonna be in the ocean, like
So you need to be around water.
And I knew that like from a young age. It's just like I actually knew that because I went to Washington State, and my grandma and I went on a 13-day camping trip, and we were landlocked. And I remember the distinct feeling of just feeling so claustrophobic. I was just like, I don't know where anything is. All I see are pine forests, like pine tree forests. I was so overwhelmed. And that's a little bit how I feel in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm traveling. Everyone wants to go to England and all that. I'm just like, I hate England. And everyone's like, why do you hate it so much? I'm like, I can't stand cities,
Yeah.
And it's like, when I come out to, I went to Thailand, Cambodia, and all these places, again, mostly near the beaches, where I see palm trees, I see more nature. Like, I don't know, it's the feeling, the vibrations and all that, so it feels amazing. But then it's like, when I went to Bangkok, I used to hate Bangkok. I'll go there for 2 days and that's it. But it's like, through the COVID, I was stuck there for 2 years. I actually found that to really enjoy it. But then I found my little community of people. And I think,
that's what
it's always about community, without the people. So a lot of people say like, you travel so many places, what's your best one? I'm like, I don't really have a best one, because if I go back to the same place, it's the people I was with at that time. There's that moment. So if I go back and I come back to places, I'm like, oh,
it's empty. I
didn't have that friend who I met. Shout out to Jonas. We met in Thailand and we started traveling everywhere together, and we had the best time. It's like every time I go back to certain places we've been to, it's never the same. You make.
That's true. Yeah, I felt that like it wasn't the same when I came back. So I still found the connection. I still found my community. Like I still found like a lot of similarities to Hawaii. So I still made it special to me.
Yeah. Yes, for people watching or listening, Now, somebody that isn't happy at one point, I think it happens to all of us at one point.
Ask that question. Is this really life? Was I born for this?
I was told so many times, like, you should be grateful. Like, you should. And I was like, yes, I am grateful. Like, I'm so grateful. I'm as grateful as I can be, but I'm still not, like,
content.
Yeah.
It
was just, like, eating at me. So, yeah, everybody experiences that.
Yeah.
So, if someone now is watching this, and they've got these thoughts in their head that, they're happy with their life, but they've got these doubts, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I would say, like, follow your heart. Honestly, follow your dreams. Do what, like, ask yourself what it is. If this life right now is not fulfilling you, what would? Start asking yourself these questions. What would it look like? Get specific with it. Like, where would you see yourself thriving? What would you be doing? I just want you to, like, write it down, and then make this visual, like, life that you want. You can even use ChatGPT. Actually, I've been seeing huge.
I don't recommend it. Like, I don't recommend it.
You use it all the time.
I use it every day, but you can't. But your dream is not. ChatGPT can give you ideas. It's not your dream, bro. It'll
help you assist in figuring
I love ChatGPT. But you can't everything. Yeah, I'll use it for everything. But it's you, right? It's you. Yeah, you need to look at it.
So write your list, create your list, and then save money. Like, just save money as much as you can don't go out to the bars, don't go spend stuff that you don't need to spend, because like all of that spending is just actually just trying to fill a void of like that uncontentness, right? So just put that money aside, get really disciplined, and I promise you, like if you want something, you can get it if you want it.
Yeah, like I do this. I didn't do it last year, but the year before, right? What I do is you just take one day, you go to the beach. I've got my A4, my documents, right? And it's pretty much a template, but being very specific as well, right? And writing it down. And I was amazed. Within 12 months, 80% of everything I'd written down had come to fruition. It was unbelievable. When you get super specific and you write it down, you implant that into your subconscious. So any obstacle or any opportunity that comes, you already have an answer for that subconsciously, right?
And I get it. Like we all have our circumstances that like of why we stay in our comfort zone or in that environment. For me, family was a big one. Like for me, I had such a hard time. Like I almost felt guilty of leaving home, because like I had all of my friends and I had my family, and I just like felt like a responsibility. But I realized, like, what am I to them if I'm not really actually happy and I'm just going through the motions? It's like
it's that thing as well. It's like
Why does that happen? I haven't figured out the problem. Why the road bikes just switch off?
Maybe they just at a certain time. Like how long has it been?
45 minutes.
The first time this thing was lasting for ages. I just left Elle moved in, that's other stuff. It was all trial and error. Alright, so jump back in. What's been the best moment so far since you've been on this trip? Has there been anything where life changing, anything like that?
Oh yeah, totally. I got my yoga certification while I was out here.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did. I went to Bali. That was intense. I was in the forest for almost 30 days. And yeah, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., I committed myself to that. Like, it kind of felt like I was committing myself to an insane asylum, because like I would not expect myself to get a certification, but I just really wanted to kind of get that spiritual experience that everybody kind of comes to Bali for. And yeah, that was pretty intense. I had to sit with myself a lot and reflect a lot on like the past. And that definitely changed my direction in Bali. Like coming out of that, I felt like I put on like different glasses. I kind of was stepping into like the person that I wanted, like the better version of myself that I wanted to become, which really like helped in my process of my pursuit of happiness.
I think you always need a moment for self-reflection, at least like I do it once a year in March, Labor Day weekend. I'll go to...
What? Shut up. Are you serious?
March. Yeah, no joke.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Wait, but I love that.
March is supposed to be the real beginning of the year.
It's March because, for the last 6 years or whatnot, there's this music festival called... Yeah, so...
They do like ayahuasca?
Not that deep, but yeah, like maybe just one below that. But
I like that.
Yeah,
you do it every year. I never thought of it doing like that.
Oh, you do it once a year.
I do it like every day.
Yeah, I do it once a year because.
Joe Rogan show. There's that mushrooms. We might even get into that.
Yeah, because once you're in that state, and then that is, I don't know, just whatever naturally comes. You just, I don't know. I sort of self-reflect like in that moment, and then when I come out of it, I have such a clear direction.
Clear direction.
Yeah,
that's what I needed to do though. I think like because I had left everything behind and everyone was asking me why, and I couldn't really specify why I needed to leave. I really didn't know. I just knew that I had to. Like something had called me out here. I like to call it God. Like spirit led me out to Bali. Because I did have everything set up. Like the fact that I had my whole life set up and I just made a switch like that and let it all go, it was a bigger force outside of like my own understanding. And so when I went through the yoga experience, like the certification program, I really got to sit with that and ask myself like, because there was so much distractions and there was so much noise. and so much was happening that like I couldn't really process why I was coming out here until I got here, which is the whole what your podcast is about, actually about becoming like free.
Yeah. And I guess, what's freedom to you? What does that look like?
Freedom is a luxury that we're all entitled to at birth. I believe it's a birthright, but in this day and age in society and our 9 to 5 expectations of society, we've like gotten out of touch. So I think freedom is just being like naturally in your state without any uniform or role or societal expectation. It's outside of the societal expectation. It's like, I think, coming back to a very freedom. Yeah.
More like being a child of yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's when I was more free. My mind was open. Anything was there when I was a kid, and then get put into this system of this is how it's got to be.
It's a state of being. Like freedom is a state of being, to me.
Alright. So since you've been traveling, because there's all the great stuff. Has there been any moment where it's like, oh my god, like, and it's scary? Actually, there we go. Yeah, maybe tell us about your scary moment. Yeah.
What was it? I forget what it was that I freaked out. No, I was freaking out because it was, I booked a flight. I was having issues with my flights. I spent so much money on flights and like booking them because I was on a week-to-week basis kind of thing. I'd like book a flight like 2 weeks in advance, and then I'd like realize I didn't need to go on that flight because I had a visa that was 6 months and I just needed to renew it. So yeah, the visa thing really tripped me up. It's all a part of the process.
Yeah, because there are times that we're here and there's times we're there.
And it's the unknown that actually is the scariest.
I'll just move closer, that's all. No, just because I don't. Oh no, we've got it now. Half the time I'm like thinking of that, so if I miss anything, then
that's okay. The unknown is probably the scariest part here, especially if you're coming with no plan and you're just like a free spirit and you're just kind of winging it. Like a lot of us are winging it and just coming out here on a whim. It's the unknown, but that's also like my grandma once said that excitement often gets mistaken for anxiety. So if you're feeling anxious, like just rewording that and trying to see it from a different perspective of just excitement. And so that's kind of how I dealt with that.
Yeah.
Unknown.
Is there any shout outs that you want to do? We're going to put your links up with your social media and all that stuff. So if people wanted to get in contact with you, ask you any questions, how can people find you?
Oh yeah, so I have my artist page on nai.ael. How do I say that? Nai.ael. I'll just say my artist. I have my artist page, Elle. You can follow me if you have any questions. Like, I got you. If you have any questions about Bali or traveling, I'm your girl.
You got your jewelry. What's your jewelry?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's attached. The same one. I have a fitness account too. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for coming.
All good.
That's awesome.
And for those watching or listening, just make sure that if you like the conversation, you want to hear more, then just leave a review down below. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music or any other platforms, and on YouTube, just subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.
Can I actually also add though?
Let's
go.
Yeah. Okay. No, I just wanted to say thank you to all of my friends and my family who have supported my journey out here and who have helped me along this process. It's been such a wild ride, and I don't think I would be here without my friends and my family and my community living this life, without all of the like be safe texts and like sending love messages and all of the support. So it takes a team, and I love you guys. Thank you.
Nice one, guys. See you next one, yeah?
Ciao.